you even said yes. The truth be told, man. You know,
Man, that's an honor, man.
Oh, okay. And ladies and gentlemen, and we're live. All right. So I always introduce people, and I only talk to people that I really admire or that I look from afar, or if I've talked to. This is somebody that I talk to, somebody that I know, you know, and I've watched them build a brand, and this brand has taken on a life of its own because it started off as like a beard company, and now it's kind of like a lifestyle brand. And I admire this guy because I see the way he moves. He's the epitome of class. And if you want to rebrand yourself or even talk about maybe leveling up, this is somebody or a brand that you may want to follow. It's Foxcity Beard. I approached him a while back when I first started this whole dropping dimes thing. I sent him a message, and he was 100% supportive. Send me some product and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do a little advertisement together, whatever. So, as a matter of fact, I'm very grateful that he's even here because he believed in me from day one. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome the owner of Foxcity Beard. His name is Jem Jefferson, young entrepreneur, very successful guy. When you talk to him, he has an aura of success. It's one of those people that when you chat with him, you know that you're in the presence of somebody that if they're not where they need to be today, you're going to see them in 10 years and you're going to be like, I'm glad I knew that guy. And somebody, when you talk to them, you definitely want to tap into what they're thinking. He's not somebody who's going to talk a lot, but when he speaks, people listen. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome Jem Jefferson from Foxcity Beard. Jem, how are you, man?
My brother, I'm doing very well, man. That intro blew my mind.
Listen,
Blew my
it's
mind.
all honesty. That's what I want to say right now off the bat. I don't, the reason I go hard on my intros is because the people that I bring on are people that I legitimately admire. I've made a promise to myself that I'm not going to have conversations with people just to have conversations. I'm not like that in my real life where, I'm not about small talk. I'm about people that are going to stimulate me mentally and show me that next level. Or you ever heard the saying, show me who your friends are, show me who you are? Or
Yep.
if you're surrounded by 10 millionaires, you'll be the 11th or something like that. I don't know if I'm messing up the quote. But even if we don't have the millions financially, I like to talk to people that are millionaires up here already and on their way there. You know what I mean? And I see that in you. So that's part of the reason why I asked you to come on. And like I said, you're an established brand. You don't have to deal with a guy like me that's on the come up. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of building his audience. You know what I mean? So I'm very happy and I'm privileged that you came back and you said, hey, Mike, I'm going to talk to you individually. And I appreciate it. And I know you're super busy. So anything you want to start off by saying? Just to get it.
Honestly, if we would have switched mics, I would have said the exact same thing about you, brother. So it makes it an honor for me. I'm honored and blessed to you even reached out. So I guess we share that. You've been a role model for me for a long time. So now I get to spin it back, and that feels great. It's a blessing.
Bro. Cool. So hey, mutual respect here. You guys hear it here first. Here you go. So this is 5 questions with Mike Nav. I try to avoid anything that's on your website. I try to give people a good look at what you were thinking when you started your brand, maybe like some ideas behind your brands that you could elaborate on. And then when we're done, obviously we know each other, we have a friendship, so we could talk about whatever. But I think some of the questions that I have are pretty. People are going to want to hear what you have to say. So one of the questions is, I see the brand is not just about grooming. Okay, that's number one. It has a lifestyle feel to it, like the way you advertise it, the way you even your website, the way it's designed, like the class, like the way the stream, like how it's streamlined and how it pops, tells me this is not just about grooming; it's about a lifestyle brand. It's almost like you're feeding people your consumers game. Right now, one of the popular things is high level, low level, and you hear a lot about that on the internet. And I feel like your brand almost is like giving consumers game on how to become a high level man. It's like it's not just about shaving. It's just not just about the beard and the look. It's about there's a process to this, So with that being said, what do you call it? Was that purposely done, or what was behind? What's the thought purpose behind the way you do things?
Um, I don't know if it was intentional at first, but almost like was a standard for myself, and that's kind of what I wanted to give to people because they can find uh, beard oils and CVS and Rite Aid and Walmart. They can find these things, these chemically built things that they can drop on at any time. But to give them something different, something special, and I had to give them myself. And I think that's what's in the brand, something like everything visually, the logo, the name, everything's a piece of myself. And I try to put everything that I am into every bottle that's received, everything is still handmade from scratch, and everything is still done, myself. There's no, it's not a ton of machines, not a ton of preservatives, nothing like that, because I wanted to give people me. And I've been, I think, doing that in, the corporate America world for a long time and just, but draining myself and not feeling the reward at the other end. And I think this was an opportunity for me to feel that reward in giving people a piece of myself all the time. And it was really, the reception was amazing, and you don't even know that you're top of the line until other people who have tried the former top of the line, and then they tell you, it's like, hey, no, this is the best I've ever had. This is, this I've never smelled anything like that. I've never felt anything like this. This is new. This is different. So I think the people told me that I was good enough, that this was right. This was the right idea. This was the right direction. This is what they've needed. And, that feels like a blessing in itself. So yeah, I think the lifestyle was more of it was me calling out almost to them. It's like, here, give me the chance to, you know, to change your life, to be a part of your life, and not even the other way around. So they're getting my standard, my raising the bar. Like that's what I'm giving to them. And they met me there, and they're keeping me there, and I love that, and I appreciate that from everybody.
Your answer makes so much sense because now that you said that, and I see the product, and knowing you, I'm like, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. Anybody who ever meets you in person sees the way you dress, the way you address people, you treat the waiter just like you treat the CEO. You know what I'm saying? You're that type of guy. And if somebody had to use an adjective to describe you, definitely one of the first, other than kind and all those things, one of the first ones I would say is a class act. You know what I mean? So it makes 100% sense that you would be attached to this brand, that this is your brand. It makes perfect sense. Okay. I want to follow up the question. What separates Fox City Beard from the competition? I see you emphasize on chemical free, like organic type thing.
Yeah.
What was the primary motivation behind going organic?
I think one of the major reason I kind of stumbled upon a lot of research on in my findings as I was trying to figure out what's supposed to be in here, what's not. And when I first started growing a beard, or trying to, it was a tough journey trying to. And I had probably like 40 or 50 products. You couldn't tell who owned all of these things. It's like, me and like the girlfriend side of the bathroom was starting to look about the same. I had so many products in there. And as I started to look at the ingredients and started to learn more about these things and started to do the science and the chemistry and everything, a lot of what was in the products I was using didn't belong there, and a lot of what I needed was missing. And I think that's the biggest difference. And it shouldn't be hard because if I could have found it, anybody could have found it. But a lot of what we need is missing, and it's replaced by you know things that don't help and chemicals that don't help. And there's people putting beer in their products, and they're putting colors and you know whatever kind of things I can't even pronounce. They're putting a lot of stuff in here, and now you go look those things up, and maybe they help and maybe they don't. But there's so many sensitive skin users out there. There's people who have been, like my father, for instance, has been trying to grow his hair back for 10 years, and in 3 weeks the product started working. And he's had multiple dermatologists and hair folks and doctors and things like that give him bottles upon bottles, prescriptions upon prescriptions, and it only took 3 weeks for the scalp oil to work. Because I feel like, one, those natural products they're more efficient than any kind of chemical compound you can come up with. And then two, like you gotta be able to trust what's in there. And I think one of the ways you can trust is like be able to read it. Being able to pronounce it helps. Being able to Google
Absolutely.
that and find it, like those little things matter. And it's easy. It would be easy to make like 1,000 of these things at a time, throw some chemicals in there, and put them out there,
You
and for the market to get. But, I'd much rather do it this way. Go do the hard work and give a guarantee that hey, this product will work. If you finish this bottle, you'll notice a difference. And I can promise that this way. I couldn't promise it if I were going to do the chemical compound version or anything like that. And I think that personal guarantee is pretty much the difference between Fox City and everywhere else. Like I think somebody willing to put their neck out there and say like, hey, I'll fully behind this, and if anything goes wrong in the shipment, if the bottle cracks, you're getting another one. If you didn't like the smell that you ordered, I'm just going to send you another one. Like this, everything is coming from the source. There's no, team of people. There's no robots on, customer service or anything like that. Everything is straight from the source. You know it's real. You know it's coming. You know
So it's
exactly where it's
almost
coming
like
from.
a different level. It's that interpersonal. You see, it's a breath of fresh air nowadays with what you're saying, because in the era that we're in, where everything is done online, everything is internet, it's good to know to attach a face to a product. It's like accountability. You say, I stand behind my product. Everything that I put out, I'm standing behind. This is the name, this is the face. And if and you seems like you go out of your way for anyone that does have an issue. I've been a fan since the day I put it on, and my girl came up to me and was like, "What are you wearing? That smells amazing." And mind you, I've been on 3 separate beard growth journeys. Okay. The second one actually was moving because I was using your product and it was working, except I went to the hospital, came out looking like Wolverine. So I had to do a whole revamp. But I've been tooting your horn saying, people, there's levels to this. You know what I mean? Like, it's very easy to go with these companies with chemicals. And I mean, I'm not trying to do bro science here, but what I will put out is there's a difference. It's like back in the day, our fathers, grandfathers, they all had a higher level of testosterone than we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the foods that we eat, the lifestyles that we lead are conducive to a lower level of testosterone. You know what I mean? So it's always good to see somebody that's using natural products, right, to boost these certain levels of testosterone that increase, you know what I mean, without having to go the chemical route, without having to dip in. And like I said, I was looking. It's so funny because I actually shaved today, and I was looking at my one of the bottles that I had, not your stuff, some other competitor stuff, and I was looking at it, and I was like, "What's ibuprofen?" I couldn't even pronounce it. I was like,
Exactly.
"This is," and remember, we had already talked about that. I was going to talk to you, so it all clicked, and I was like, I just threw it out. I was like, "That's it. I'm done. I'm done." And for the ladies out there, if you're looking for a gift or something to give your man that you're going to benefit from, trust me, the smell alone will have you rebuying and rebuying and rebuying. It's fantastic.
Amen.
So that'll lead me to the next question. What was the genesis? What was the a Foxcity Beard Company? What were there any experiences that you had personally, right, that kind of drove you to saying, you know what, I'm gonna build my own. I'm gonna do this by myself. I could do this better. And did you have an aha moment where, in particular, like you were doing something, you said, "Oh no, that's it." Like that's what I want to get to. I want to get to that thought process of when you decided that moment in time. Bring us back to that moment in time when you said either, "Hey, I could do this better," or, "You know what, I got this." Like, what was that moment for you?
I feel like it was the strangest chain of events that led to this sudden project. Um, it started, I was kind of walking through, I think I was in a Target, and they have that small section where like all the oils are separated. And it's the
Right.
first time it dawned on me that, oh, these come this way. Maybe I should start looking at it like this. And I could put all the ingredients that I need personally. I can mix this all together, make my own concoction or something. So this is like early summer, 2 years ago. And from that point, I was having dinner with a friend, and I put like peppermint and some things together. It was absolute nonsense, but I put something in it. It was I was wearing it, and she was kind of like, "Oh, I kind of like the way that smelled." And she was an entrepreneur. She like doing the vending machines, and she like totally business minded. Anything that she could possibly think of in terms of business, that's exactly what she did. And that was the first time somebody said like, "Hey, you should put this in a bottle and sell it." And I was like, I've never even considered it, right? So couple weeks I'm messing with these things, and one of my guys I was working with, back when Sprint still existed, when I was working with him, and I was like, go try a bottle of this. Like he was kind of growing it, kind of not growing it, and I was like, go try a
Right.
bottle of this. And he probably wore it for about a week, and he's like, why is this so different? Like how is it like this lasts for days? It's my beard is glowing still, and I'm like, maybe I do have something. So I'm sitting at home and gave it to like another two or three people, and they said exact same thing. I put this in my beard and it lasts for like 2 or 3 days. What the hell is this? Like I've never, this has never lasted so long. So then I'm sitting at home, I'm jotting some things in a notebook. I'm used to doodle, used to draw a little bit. So I'm jotting some things in the notebook, and then this name just kind of, just popped up by accident. And I like, this actually could work. And literally from like that point forward, just it's like, hey, how would this look? Where can I put this in? What bottles look like? And I started looking at all those products again, all 40, 50 something products that I had. And it's like, how can I package this to look different from from these current products, but, still have, the class and to keep up with and things like that. And honestly, it just kind of spiraled from like that series. And that was probably all of like a 3.5 week time period. And then from that point, about a month later, it was fully incorporated, um, signed up with the city and everything like that. And then the month after that was September, and the site was live. Like it really was a fast moving train, and completely accidental. It wasn't like a lifelong dream. It was like, hey, I'm finally growing a beard, which I couldn't for years. So like this product has to be doing something right. And after enough people started to confirm it, I was like, we're going for it. And yeah, that's how it came to be. And then it evolved from there, and became what it is today. But the original idea and those bottles are kind of ugly the first time around, small plastic bottles and things. But I got my hands on anything I can get my hands on. But what was in the bottle was so important to me, and that's what really started to grab that audience and put everything together.
It's crazy because it's so funny how when it happens fast.
Oh yeah.
It happens fast, and I'm glad that you were ready for the blessings. You know what I mean? They were coming, and you were ready to take them by the reins. So I guess your life was preparing you for that. I do have a question. Right now you're very individual. You do your own stuff. I mean, I can see you guys going retail real soon. I mean, that's how good I believe. That's how much I believe in the product. Is that something that you would look for in the future, possibly being in retail stores or anything like that, or do you want to keep it very exclusive, very kind of like still hands-on, or what is your thought process in that area?
I mean, I think retail is a dream, to be able to walk down the aisles and see, hey, this thing I created, it's here. So I think that's the dream. And I want to get there at some point in time and develop a team and all of that. As long as I can protect the brand.
The integrity,
One of the,
right?
yeah. So one of the things I saw, I met somebody who was kind of transitioning from self-made to into like a retail space, and she was selling like edge control or something like that for women. And I was looking at the packaging, I love the packaging and everything like that. I said, hey, where'd you do it? It's like, oh, I have somebody in the lab doing it, and they send it back. And I was looking at the ingredients. I was like, hey, what's this thing here? And she's like, actually, I have no idea what that is. And then that made me pause. So like, she's got her name on this, she's selling this, she's killing it, and it looks awesome, but she doesn't even know what's in this container, this edge control. And it's like, if I can go retail and still protect that integrity, where the product is as good in mass as it is, individually made, then I
Right,
obviously
right,
I'm going all in. But I don't want it to turn into something where it's like, hey, that's not my brand. Hey, that product doesn't work anymore. Hey,
right.
the
It's just a
growth, the
name on a
shine.
building or name. Yeah, I
Exactly.
get
So
it.
yeah, so I definitely I want it to be larger scale. I want everybody to have a chance to like use this product and have easy access to it. I do want those things. I just want to do it in such a way that it's still Fox City. It's still the Fox City that started 2 years ago, and not, just some old cream of wheat, copycat version of it or something,
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're doing it right because I see that you're very methodical in the steps that you're taking as far as, like you said, it's very hands-on as far as your logo, as far as your apparel that you're putting out, the merch. I see that it's all very well thought out. It's nothing rushed. It's all very, like I said, it's all very methodical in the way your approach. Now, what I do believe is I think it's just a matter of you deciding when you want to go retail because the product is that good. And again, I'm not tooting your horn. This is something that I use. I'm not like just blowing smoke. This is something that I use, right? Just for the audience. So what I'm saying is it's just a matter of deciding to do it and getting the, like you said, like the circle around you that's going to be able to facilitate the growth, But I think that could easily be done. I also see an avenue where you say, no, this is a high-end product. It's more exclusive. I mean, it could be a Walmart if you choose it to be, or it could be a Louis Vuitton. You know what I mean? It's on you. That's how good the product is, to be honest with you, John. You could either make it an exclusive club where people buy in and they say, hey, look, this is the top of the line. There's levels to this. Come on in. Or you make it available. But the sky's the limit. That's the point I'm trying to get at when I talk to you. It's not a matter of if, it's when you decide to make these moves. I'm going to ask you another question. Are you working on anything new? Is there something coming down the line? I went down the rabbit hole and I saw that you have like merchandise that you're selling with the Foxcity logo. I saw a really cool hoodie that I'm thinking of investing in and buying. Is there anything else that's coming out that you have? Any other scents? Anything that you might be working on?
Yeah, there's the first project coming out will be the body butter, cocoa butter, going for the full-on lotion. And if that works out well, we're going to do the scented ones. So all the same beard scents would be available in the body butters. So that's project number one. I actually got the shipment of the ingredients that I need for that earlier this week. So that's coming soon. It's got to master the new products and see how they cooperate, how they function, and make sure when I bring it out, it's going to be, at same level as everything else. So that's coming.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Also working on a way to make the wash thicker, come out more like a more gel-like than the liquid. That way you get a more sudsy feel and it lasts longer. So people have said that, and that's me listening to that feedback and so how can I do this in such a way that still holds the integrity of natural? So I found something, so I'm messing with it now. It's actually cooling over there. So seeing what kind of results I get when that's all said and done. And then, yes, I mean, those are the two biggest things. And then once those things start to work out, I am working on trying to increase production to maybe, Amazon levels, make it available on Prime or something like that. So, three kind of secrets that are going on in the background. And then after those things kind of work itself out, we'll start bringing more scents. There's a box over there. I can't see it on camera, but there's about 30 cents that are in that box, and I brought them out real slow. And just things that got a reaction and things like that. So and that's where Suit and Tie came in and things like that. So there are more. There's tons to get on that seasonal jump and things like that. So there are some things in the pipeline. Even when I was quiet, I was always working. So never idle.
Always working. Absolutely. Absolutely. You work in silence, baby. Work in silence. Absolutely. That's fantastic. So let us know, let everybody know where they can get the product. I'm going to put a link down below, obviously, for, so people could just click and find your stuff, and let them know where they can find your product. Is anybody else distributing it or anything like that, but let people know where they can find your Facebook, your social media, your websites, anything like that.
For sure. So foxybeard.com is the number one place to get all of the products and the apparel. You can also find me on social media, so Facebook and Instagram at Foxcity Beard. I'm not TikToking and all that stuff yet. Maybe one day, but not very behind the scenes kind of guy. So I have to make sure I'm more camera ready if I start doing this.
That marketing team, right? You got to get that marketing team too.
Yeah,
right?
I got to pay somebody else to do that, at some point in time. But those are primary ways to get it. And there's some shops in Jersey, New York. There's a couple of people, carrying some product, but nothing major. The easiest way, most consistent way to get it directly from the source. And like I said, every
If you
order is
want to
made to
carry,
order. Mhm.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. If you
Okay.
want to carry Foxcity Beard, if you want to carry it in your local stores and your small online, contact Jem directly. Like I said, I'll put the link down below. He does have contact information on his website. Contact him directly. You know who you're going to be talking to. I've seen different entrepreneurs. I got family. I got different people that are working on things. It's always good to cross over and collab. You never know what you could have, especially if you have a product that mainly deals with women. You never know to add that product that deals with men, how it could add to your overall revenue. So that's something I wanted to put out there. Do you have a message for men, young or old, right? On how to help them elevate their style when it comes to their beard? How about some tricks to the trade that you might know, like maybe even the way you use these products? Because a lot of times people buy the product, they read instructions and they kind of go with it. But are there any tricks to the trade that you might know on how to make that full, nice look come in? Whether comb it, then wash, then whatever, whatever it is you want to say.
No, for sure. Starting from the very beginning, I'd say you need oil. The oil is the most important piece if you're starting fresh. If you're kind of midway, let's say kind of where my length is or longer, you can go either butter or balm from that piece. But first, you do need a morning and a night routine. I think that's essentially important. One of the best and easiest routines, get a hot washcloth, hot towel, something like that, put it on the face, wait till the hair is nice and soft. Then either with the oil or your butter, either one, you put that in and you massage it through the beard. You comb it softly. You don't have to kill it. You comb it softly through and get it in shape. It's grooming. If it's flat to your face, then you can brush it, and then you just let it rock. And for the whole day, you just let that rock with mask. It's kind of, it's kind of tough. So you might have to take your comb or something, you can brush with you, there's mask days. And at night, you do the exact same thing. And once a week and only once a week, you wash it with the wash. That way you're not stripping too much of the oils away or anything like that.
The
And
natural
you
oils,
just,
right.
yeah, exactly. So, and some of those natural oils are in the wash, so you don't lose everything. So you still feel it. It won't feel dry and streaky and crackling and any of that. But the most important piece of it is that morning and night routine. And then for me, I thought Biotin pills helped a lot. And CVS always has a good sale on those. They always have like the buy one bottle, get one bottle free, or get one bottle half off. I refuse to buy those if they're not on sale. But the 10,000 milligram ones, you can you got sales, man. And yeah, you pop one of those a day, like start in the morning or at night, whatever one you prefer. And I feel if you consistently stick with that, you'll see a difference. Even if it's not like whatever your beard was doing before, it'll do it better with that routine in mind. But it is an accelerant, so if there's like nothing there at all, then obviously it won't, something times zero is still zero. But it is an accelerant, so if your beard took 3 months to grow, it might switch it to 2 months to grow. It might, if you grow, some people grow a beard in like a week, now it might be a couple of days, so everybody's a little different. I'm starting to let my new growth come in. You see these little bits up here. I've let it rock for a few weeks just to see what it does before I shape it up. But yeah, I mean that's a lot of stuff where I
Yeah, I
couldn't
see.
grow any of that before. Yeah, and that's me just letting the routine do its thing and filling in these lines finally, and that's all comes with time, and everybody's different. You grow your best beard, and I think that's probably the number one thing. You grow your best beard, and you rock that with confidence, and that's key. That's key. I spend a lot of time trying to grow everybody else's beard, and you kind of realize you gotta rock your own. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's always something, man. It's always something, especially at this time of day. Sorry about that, man. It's always something with this
All good,
internet.
all good. Oh, I
So,
hear that.
Jim, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Like you were saying, he's got, he's the guy to go to when you want to know about these things.
Yeah, try to become a source for everyone. I don't know if I'm back yet. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I get you. You're there. Yeah, that's just part for the course. Don't even worry about it.
No,
Everybody I've
yeah,
done
that.
interviews with are on their platform, on mine. At some point, they have a small glitch. I'm to the point where everything's improving. I'm also investing in different platforms and stuff, so that'll eventually get resolved. But right now, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm just happy to have you.
I hear you.
What do you call it?
I'm blessed. Blessed. Thank you.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So now I wanted to touch on something. The question is this. Okay, so that was my 5 questions about Foxcity Beard. That's what I like to talk about. It's all part of my new segment called The Business. The Business spelled hashtag The Business with 3 S's at the end. And it's basically just giving people a platform, advertise. I don't want anything for it. All I'm looking for is people that I'm investing in people, man, and people that are doing good things, big things. I'm investing in them. So my next question is, I want to know, I want to tap into the mind of an entrepreneur. Jim, you there?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay. I want to tap into the mind of an entrepreneur. What are some of the ups and downs, or if you want to call them struggles or lessons that you've learned over the last 3 years starting your own business?
I'd say number one, paying the bills was hard. When you're just starting out, it's not the same. It's not as consistent or as safe as knowing like, hey, this 40-hour a week check is going to come in no matter what I do, you know, or know that it's a guaranteed salary. So I think you definitely need to set a foundation for yourself, like, and have money saved up, like almost like a protection for yourself. That 3 to 6 months worth of rent and things like that, so you can really do this the way it needs to be done. Um, what I also found is that sometimes, depending on what my day job is at the time, especially like my last one, was so intense that I lost sight of the business, and I became so focused on collecting this salary that the salary removed, my ability to continue to innovate and to do a lot of the small things that I like to do. And it became like I let the day job become number one. And if you really believe in the dream and you believe in the project, you really can't let it be number one. Like the full time job, the part time job, you have to keep it in its place. It's number two. Its job is to fund the dream. It's to fund the project. And as soon as you lose sight of that, the business kind of loses its value. So I think that was hard too. Once the bill paying became hard, it's like, all right, let's go get a day job, kind of counteract. But then it sucked the energy out, of the brand and killed the push for a little bit. So, I think as an entrepreneur, I really have to keep that focus.
You know what they say: if you're not working on your dream, you're helping build somebody else's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost like when you cross that bridge, you got to burn it behind you and say there is no going back. You know what I mean? And you have to invest in yourself and really say, okay, no matter what people say around me, I could confess, like I posted this before. I've had people make a joke. Oh, and now all of a sudden everybody's doing it. Oh, Mike, now all of a sudden whatever. And little by little, and I'm telling you, my numbers haven't grown all that great, but little by little, those same people come back around. It's like everybody wants the established product. You know what I mean? It's that dream building phase that's like, whoa, and those setbacks. It is good to know because a lot of people that are in your shoes, that are starting businesses, that are on the come up, that have great ideas, they may feel like they're the only ones going through that. Like maybe I should just quit. I'm not good enough. And then they somebody like you who was able to push through. 3 years in, you're able to get things done, and you're letting them know, hey, I was in your shoes. I understand what you're going through. And I feel like we need to do. That's why I started the hashtag The Business, like I said, with 3 S's on my page, and I'm trying to get it to spread because I feel like people that are in new ventures, it's almost like, and I'm not talking to you, I'm talking about somebody like me initially and other people. It's almost like we're afraid to push past our friends and family. Initially, it's like here you're looking for their approval, and it's like you select. No, I'm not going to tell the world yet. I'm not good enough yet, or I'm not. And what we have to do is understand that as people that are starting, like I said, new ventures, you got to push. You got to show that belief in yourself, because that belief in yourself will attract others. That confidence in yourself, that blind belief saying, I'm going to make it at all costs. People are attracted to that. It's that law of attraction. People will flock to you. I've seen it with your business where it was like you said, I could have never told that you had a slowdown or whatever. Like I said, the product never faltered. It never fell off. So I always assumed he's doing big business. He's keeping it moving. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you pushed through. Here's another question I want to throw your way. And like I said, these are all kind of curveballs. What's the end game for you? You know what I mean? Literally, what's the end game? I know I asked you the question earlier about retail or whatever. What's the end game? Is it better yet, let's scrap that question. I have another one. I find that a lot of businesses, when they hit a bump in the road, is when the artist is removed from the art. So for instance, like you said earlier, you never want the brand to escape you. You always want to be able to still have your hands on and whatever. I find that point that you made so important, because I look at restaurants, I look at businesses, I look at all these things, right? And you can almost pinpoint when a lot of these businesses or these ventures go south, because it's the day that the artist says, "Oh, I want to relax. I'm done, man. I just want to enjoy the success," and they leave the product or they move away from it and let somebody else hands on. You know, do you ever see yourself in that position, or are you the type of person that always wants to make sure that your stamp is on this product? I know you talked about it earlier, but I kind of want to dive it, not from the brand part of it, but from the gem aspect of it, like as an artist, because that's what you are. You know, you are a businessman, but from what it sounds like and what you do, you're almost an artist, scientist, artist, putting things together, sense. You're dealing sense. So I want to know, like, is there ever a point where you'll back away, or is this something that your life's work? Is this something where you're going to stick to it?
So I think this question and the last question kind of tie in together for me. So one of the questions I got a lot of is, why doesn't your logo have a beard? Why is it not like a bearded fox? Why is it not someone, why doesn't it look like a beard company? And I think that kind of ties into the end game and the next steps, where I kind of want Foxcity to be more of a Nike logo than a beard company. One of the projects that we have kind of further down the road is a health and wellness center. When my little brother gets fully certified in his mental health and programs and things like that, like, we're going to slap this logo on the building and we're going to open one up and work on men's mental health and physical health and things like that. And we have been dabbling with real estate on the side, and there might be a Foxcity real estate company. And so I think ultimately the beard company was almost like the intro into learning how to be a business and how to run a business. And I hope I'm always part of it. Like, I hope there's always a piece, my hand is always in there somewhere. But I think the bigger dream is that this logo becomes so much more than that. Like, this is the beginning of the what Foxcity will be, and it will be a bunch of different things, and people will see the logo and they're like, oh, he's part of that, or oh, that family's in that. And I think that's the end game, where it becomes so much more. It becomes recognizable to multiple people in multiple facets. It might be an investing company, who knows? I mean, now investing is kind of what's paying the bills and allowing me to give Foxcity the full attention that it deserves. So who knows? It might be Foxcity Investment Consulting Company. You think, like, it could be anything, and I left that logo vague on purpose so we can go chase all of our dreams together under one umbrella.
I love that.
There's plenty.
I love
there's
that.
plenty of things coming. Yeah.
There's two things that I got from what you just said. The one I'm going to touch on is, I love the forward thinking. See, people don't seem to understand that people aren't getting successful, rich, however you want to use it, right now based on today's ideas. They're getting rich based on their forward thinking and what they see in the future. All right. So like Blockbuster, you're not going to get rich with a Blockbuster right now. You know what I mean? DVDs, you're not going to get rich on DVDs right now. You know what I mean? But guess what? Right now, you're not going to get rich on streaming. The people that are getting rich right now are the people that are a step ahead of what streaming is. They're in that next technology, right? And I feel like the same thing about business. I feel like the people that I see that are going to be successful around me have that next step. Like you said, I'm in a very similar boat. I mean, I'm very early in my journey. I wrote a book. My book birthed this little page that I have in this as advertisement for the book. All of a sudden, the page takes on a little life of its own. I start receiving questions. I start answering them. All of a sudden, that goes into like a little coaching. People calling me up. Hey, look, I just want to talk to you. I just need to talk to something. Where literally, my position is, I'm not a therapist. I'm a coach. I can coach you on some things. And what I'll do is I'll walk you to the door of therapy. If you need therapy and I can't handle it, I'm not going to sit there and try to claim that I can't. What I do is, hey, let's stop right here. Let's stop right here. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually I have I'm about to say how old I am, a Rolodex. I have I have a list, a referral service of therapists that specialize in different arenas. So if I come across you and I don't deal in toxicity, for instance. Like I don't deal in abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, even chronic infidelity. I don't do that. I deal in, hey man, we're in a little funk. How can I get out of it? Cool. Hey, let's talk. You know what I mean? Maybe what you're not doing right. And so if I find somebody that comes to me with that toxic kind of thing, I'm like, okay, let's stop right here. I can't help you. And I lead them to, so that's even another extension, my referral service. You know what I mean? So it's like a whole branch. And I keep thinking, this pandemic it's shift shaping. You know what I mean? It's not going to look the same today that it does in a year. So a lot of people are not really dealing in brick and mortar. And I'm like, you never know, man. People are going to want to explode and get the hell out of their house when all this is over. You know what I mean? And really have a new appreciation what it is to have a meal outside, to go somewhere to do something, to see somebody in person. There's going to be that explosion at some point, I think. So I love people that when I talk to them, they're forward thinking and they're not stopping where they're at right now. They're looking more ahead and they're saying, okay, this can turn into this. The second part I loved is how you made the Foxcity logo and you referred it to like a Nike. When you think Nike, there's a broad spectrum. You could slap Nike on anything and people will say, it must be quality. Just do it. Let's find out what that's about, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think that type of thinking where it's a broad kind of like blanket statement. Foxcity means quality over everything. It means quality. When you see Foxcity stamped on something, you're going to know that it's with the quality that you started the company with. Whether it's finances, retail, whether it's health and wellness, you know what I mean? And I think health and wellness ties into what you're doing now because of the lifestyle brand that you have. It's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? Foxcity, like I said, when I first looked at it, I was, Jim started a beard company? Wow, Foxcity. And then as soon as I started seeing how you were handling the beard, the type of oils that it was, I was like, oh, this is a lifestyle. This is sustainable. This is a lifestyle type of thing. This is you telling men, level up. Don't settle for what you get at the supermarket. Don't settle what you get at Walgreens, CVS. Level up. There's a level up for you. You know what I mean? And I see you doing that by making your logo mean that. You know what I mean? Last but not least, we're going to close the show. I just wanted to add it again. We're going to close the show like this. I use this product. Like I said, I love it. I love the smell of it. I advertise it every chance I get. And I want to do it one more time. This episode was brought to you by Foxcity Beard, organic beard supplies. It's fantastic. It smells amazing. If you want to give it as a gift to your man, or if you're a man that wants to level up and take your grooming and you look to a different level, I highly advise you Foxcity Beard. All right. Once again, can you just let us know where we can find your product and your apparel? I noticed that your merch is on is that on a separate site or a link to another site? Or
It's
am
linked
I
to
wrong on
another
that?
site. It's linked to another site. Good brother of mine, LT. You know, is amazing with the designs and quick with the shipments and everything. So we decided to collab instead of me screen printing all these things to learn how to do that. It's like, hey, you know, let's tie these businesses together. He's already doing an amazing job in that center, and it's like, hey, you know, can you help a brother out? So networking and bringing those things together. So yeah, but it's part of the same site. You'll find it through foxcitybeard.com.
So
And for those who can't
fantastic.
grow a beard, just know there's plenty of products on there that are for the unbearded as well. The all of the hair products are unisex. Anybody can use them. Women have had plenty of great results and success with that too. It is, you know, engineered to help anyone. So obviously the beard is more targeted for the man, but the hair products are for anybody. A lot of my friends use it for their children because there's nothing in it, like no chemicals or anything like that in there. So they use it as their baby shampoo, and you know when they do their their daughter's hair and things like that to soften it up, they use hair butter. So it's I made sure that the hair side was good for everybody, so anyone can support and receive that quality of care and nurturing and that luxurious feel, so to speak. So it's for everyone. A little something on that website for everybody.
Well, Jem, like I said earlier, man, I want to thank you for taking the time. I know you're a busy guy. I know you've got a lot going on. For taking the time to come and sit down with me and just kind of give us a little glimpse into what it's like being an entrepreneur, branding, and a couple of different areas that we talked about. It's important. Like I said, man, this is a lead up where I'm going to be doing hashtag the business. And I already have a list of people that I'm going to be talking, featuring on my page, but I also want to talk to them because it's amazing the things that you say, how many people will inbox me and be like, yeah, that was cool, man, because I've been through the same thing. Or, wow, that's good to know because I'm about to go through that. And I think as a community, we need to start sharing. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for Amazon, all these big companies, they got the money, you know what I mean, for advertisement. A lot of us, what we're doing is word of mouth. You know what I mean? And to develop a network, a group of people, not just that are cheering for each other and rooting for each other, because we're all in this small venture type, this new up and coming venture type thing where we could all link and say, okay, I'm supporting you. You're supporting me. You know what I mean? We're supporting each other. We're moving along, And that's why whenever I deal with somebody, I buy the product. I buy the product. You got a small business, I'm buying the product. Why? Because I understand where you're at and I want to invest in you. You know what I mean? And I think it's important that we put that out there. If you're dealing with somebody with a small business that's on the come up, make sure you invest with them with your dollars, especially in our community. Invest. Everybody's always looking for the hookup. Oh, let me get the connect. No. Invest in them. Show them, invest in them. And I tell people, man, follow me at 300 followers, just like you follow me at 3 million. You know what I mean? Be there on the bus so you can ride the limo. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm going to close it with this. Jem, like I said, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming on. I look forward to featuring you. Like I said, I sent you the link and stuff. Just send me the info. I'm going to post you. I'm going to blast you. Let everybody know this is my guy. Again, thank you very much, brother. And with that, I'm going to say we are about to be out. And man,